Welcome to the Book of Light. Digital immortality. Is that possible? First of all, we live in an insane world ruled by insane people. Here you have two of them. USA, America. USA, we have a little boy here. He's a little boy. Oh, Daddy, please love me. Love me. His dad sent him to military academy while the rest of the family and the kids were permitted to stay at home. Whatever this poor soul does is to please his father. And here we have another one. They don't want to show his hair loss a little bit. He claims to be an expert at black rock. No, he is not. He has no clue of any bank. He is a lobbyist, enabling the banks to enter German politics and to cheat us. And now he comes with a $500 billion package. Shame on you, booby dooby. we need a little humor. We need, otherwise you could become. Oh. But we don't use violence, we use knowledge. The Book of Light, Book of Books, Savior of Mankind. This is the greatest handwritten book in the world in English. Christian Andersen, das größte handgeschriebene Buch der Welt. This is the greatest handwritten English book. It unites all religions and sciences. And in the background you see the German translations. Okay. Now, let's see. What is the newest dream of an insane world ruled by insane people? Let's see. How about digital immortality? This is the new thing of Silicon Valley. They don't want any political or any laws or so. They say, we are the law. No, you are fools. You have a screw loose. All you Silicon Valley people have a screw loose, and you could use your knowledge to help the world to get out of this insane asylum. Okay, now, they believe in digital immortality. What is that? It is a hypothetical concept of cloning or storing a person's personality in digital substrate. So what? When the person dies, it dies. The clone remains, which has nothing to do with me. The computer, robot, coughing cyberspace is like an avatar. Behaving, reacting, thinking like a person. So what? But I'm dead. If they take my avatar, I'm dead. So what is the Then these old crazy men, it reminds me to Mick Jagger, no, to his wife. She married an old. Okay, now later. It's an avatar behaving. It's reacting, thinking like a person, on the basis of the person's digital archive. But there's nothing to do with the person. The person is dead. They claim after the death of the individual, the avatar could remain static or continue to learn and self-improve autonomously, becoming a seed AI for the next evolution. So what? You're dead. You all from Silicon Valley have a screw loose. That's what you do. You have a screw loose. And some of you, and I must talk that tough, are just old farts who want to live forever. Immortality is taught in the Book of Light. But it's not here, it's where you came from. Why are we here? To learn that. Glory to the Book of Light, Book of Books, Savior of Mankind. And of course, dear friends, let me show you. Divine message from the true God Nirvana. When you understand that true God, you stop being a fool. But let's get back to the fools. There is a considerable portion of transhumanists, singular, I can even, hard to spell it, singularitarians, you have a screw loose. Everybody in Silicon Valley has a screw loose. Some of you are old farts, again, old farts afraid of dying, that's it. If you would come to the Book of Light, you would understand that you are already immortal, just detached from your mortal structures, not by suicide, but by knowledge. God help him. Help him. Now, the National Science Foundation of old farts, of fools who have a screw loose, awarded $500,000 grant to the Universities of Central Florida at Orlando to explore how researchers might use artificial intelligence to create a possible step towards virtual immortality. No, it's a step towards insanity. You have a screw loose. You have a screw loose. And you have many screws loose. The Book of Light will help you to adjust those screws. Dear friends, I speak with love when I say old fart. Everybody who identifies himself with this mortal structure is an old fart. A future old fart if he's young, and an old fart if he's old. Isn't the time? The time has come to find the truth, dear friends. Book of Light. Incredible. Now, let's get back to digital immortality. There's to go beyond technical processes of digitization of people. It encompasses social aspects as well. For example, there's an old fart, Joshua Hurtado, presented a 4-step framework in which the digital immortalization of people could preserve the social bond between the living and the dead. Oh, they are dead, I think you're immortal. So what they do is they gather data, they quantify data, they activate data, and they embodiment data. And each of these steps is linked to a form of preserving the social bond, either through talk, embodied emotionally, and so forth. But you are dead then. I feel so sorry for you. All of you. And all of you too. You have a screw loose. And all these people who follow you have a screw loose too. And we come to this other adrenochromistic approach of immortality. Let's wait and see. So, now this has to do with a terabyte of storage. So what? You can store about yourself what you want, and what will remain is that which you are not because you are dead. Why do you want an avatar if you are dead? You hobble with your avatar around? It's a mind clone generation, dear friends. This guy called Rothblatt, he proposes the term mindware, software, being developed with the goal of generating conscious AIS. The biological people are living at the same time as their artifact in silicon. Think, you idiots! What is it good for you if the biological person is dead and the artifact lives? What? You old insane farts, and I love you. I love you. My God, We live in an insane world ruled by insane people. And what do you give to those people then? Just to, oh, look here, you give them naked bodies. This woman too will one day look like an old fart, an old female fart. There is no other immortality than where you came from. And always they shout at me, why then are we here? To learn that! Martin Rothblatt wrote a book about ethics and digital immortality. What is it good for me if I'm digitally immortal when I'm dead? Digital immortality, what is that? A clone of mine, and so I'm gone. What do I have from that? True immortality is where you came from. Nirvana. When you overcame the desire for seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, thinking. When you detach from all these insane, transient activities, then comes the truth. And it's timeless. It has no beginning, no end. True immortality, dear friends. True immortality has no beginning and no end. No time passes at that moment. There are AI-enabled replicas. They interact with the world. Autonomy of the deceased, but they are deceased! The deceased are deceased, you nut! And there is Vincenzo Ferreira Calveo discussing human values in digital immortality towards a value-oriented perspective. You have a screw loose. That's the value that you have. You have a screw loose and you help others to have even more screws loose. There cannot be ethical questions because the how can I say it friendly? The digital structure may remain, but the other dies, the original. And do you want to tell me that a robot, even if he lives 10 million years, when everything, that's teaching of the Book of Light, that has a structure, a transient structure, will crush down? A robot has a transient structure too. It's metal, everything. Even a digital, even a hologram is transient. When the sun comes and swallows everything up, and it will come, then what then? My God! How can we help people to overcome this insanity? And now we come to another point. Now this is now the adrenochronists. These are Satanists. Silicon Valley is too. They are Satanists too, because they try to give us an existence, an eternal existence in a transient world. It's impossible. What is transient is transient. You cannot keep it. Don't even have control of your own body. It ages. Look at Mick Jagger. It ages. He is 1 year younger than me. I'm 80. Okay, now. I come now to another satanic point of view of these insane people. Experiments in young blood transfusions have shown early promise, they say. They tested on mice. What do, these adrenochromists? They suck from babies' brains and from babies' bodies the blood, and they come to places and they have this immediately injected, and they expect to live longer. Ask Bill Clinton and the rest of those. Well, okay. Ask Jessica Masin. Jessica Masin. He charges patients $8,000 for 1 liter of youthful plasma. 1 liter for plasma. Where does the plasma come from? The adrenochromist. You suck it up from babies. Many times. And the leaders, most of the time, waiting already around the corner. They suck it up from the baby dies, and they inject it in him. Karma will teach you, you fools. You have a screw loose, yes. And those adrenochromists, they have more screw loose than the one in Silicon Valley because the karma is more intense. In February 2019, the FDA weighed in on young blood transfusions. They said the benefits are unproven. No, they are proven. But you kill babies in order so that you live a little longer. Why don't you argue this way? I addressed commissioners Scott Gottlieb and Peter Marks. This is the director of FDA. Read my book, The Man Who Created AIDS. The Man Who, W.H.O. Okay. Okay, I can only bring excerpts of this insanity. Young blood transfusions. Despite apparently finding a consumer base in Silicon Valley, remain on the fringes of longevity offerings. And there we have Larry Page, we have Sergey Brin. Oh, God. How can we warn these idiots, excuse me, these old farts who don't want to die? When you identify with your physical body, you're an old fart. Same Andy Conrad, geneticist. They launched a $1 billion in funding, anti-aging. Do you know that the Book of Light teaches that during Atlantean and pre-Atlantean times, people sometimes were hundreds, thousands of years old? So what? What arises must pass away. In these times, this is the karma what we outlive here. In this insane world ruled by insane people. Because when you live 100,000 years, what do you think about the karma accumulated in that time? The good and the evil. It will throw you down, you will become a victim. As you sow, you shall reap. I don't want to go too deep into it because the Kaliko intended to keep almost all the progress completely secret. And De Grey said they have totally fucked it up. Yeah, but you knew it before, or? Dear friends, I see here an old fart. Moment, I show you an old fart. Now I see the old fart. Moment. Look. This old fart. He says aging is a disease. No, you are a disease. Your thinking is a disease. This old fart thinks... Okay, now we insulted him enough. Well, I'm an old fart too. If I would identify with this elimination machine that eats and... You think I identify with this future corpse? And today, dear friends, I'm a little bit up, yeah? Because I see the insanity of the world. Man should not rule over man. What should rule? Book of Light. The greatest handwritten book in the world. In English. And its German translations. Because this book unites all religions in the world, and then it explains to us who God really is. You are God. You. Du bist Gott. And you are the decider. You decide. Don't follow worldly leaders. They claim to be black rock experts. They are nothing. If you want to know the problem of the banks, also in English, in this huge book here, It's all explains. All banks are satanic. Okay, now, let's see. Time is running. I showed you the old fart. Aubrey de Grey. Look how he looks. Is this intelligence? He has a screw loose. He says aging is just another non-infectious disease like Alzheimer's, diabetes, or cancer. Cancer is infectious, by the way. Read my book, The Man Who Created AIDS. Then you will understand. But anyway, he says we are able to cure it using the protective sequences of our own DNA. Our own DNA is doomed to always what arises must pass away. And this old fart, Aubrey de Grey, hopes it doesn't happen this way. That even rhymes. There are two schools of thought when it comes to extending the human lifespan. One takes an incremental approach, seeking to eliminate non-communicable diseases. Did I say that already? Like Alzheimer, diabetes, cancer, okay. And the other treats aging, now look at it, aging itself as a disease. Aging is a disease. The Book of Light teaches, yes, true. But not aging is a disease. The body is a disease. You fools, you old farts. Your body is the disease. Aging is something natural. You want to escape the aging process? Don't detach from the desire for seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, and thinking. In soul breath meditation, taught here. Wait. Taught here in this book. Soul breath meditation. You can, after coughing, you can reduce all the activities that you want to extend. No, you reduce them and you still are there. That, when you detach from the mortal in meditation and through knowledge, that is when true immortality comes. It is the absence of desire for the mortal world. Who can fathom it may fathom it. Glory to the Book of Light.